Hello everybody, Mr. Storm here. Welcome back to Kerbal Space Programming. In the last episode, we designed a new lander for the MOHO mission that we're planning here. It uses our new magnetoplasma dynamic thrusters and reactors. So, got that all designed, got it launched into orbit. That's primarily where we stopped. Took a little while to kind of design out the lander exactly how I wanted it, but I think it's good. And so what I went ahead and did after the last episode is I did go ahead and take care of the rendezvous and docking of the lander to the longbow. It's a process we've gone through a bunch now. There was no complications or anything like that in that process of getting that all docked up. And we're probably going to see a lot more rendezvous and docking over the course of subsequent episodes in this series, because we're going to be eventually building a full-on space station. And there's going to be a lot of rendezvous and docking for assembly there. So, it's a process we're going to be seeing a lot. So, crew is up to the longbow. Lander's docked. It's fueled up, supplied, and ready to go. So, let's go ahead and hop aboard. There you are. Alright, there we go. So yep, there's the lander docked with the longbow. I'm going to turn all the lights on. That noise is just the gravity scan that keeps happening. I probably will need to launch an orbital probe that just is a whole bunch of those, graviton detectors that just run a whole bunch of gravity scans so we can get all that out of the list there. Alright, so first what we need to do now is figure out what the maneuver is going to be to get to MOHO. What we want this to be a retrograde escape. So basically escaping out in this direction so that it lowers our orbit. Set as target. Now, the thing about MOHO is it's on an inclined orbit, as you can see there. So this is going to be interesting. I'm going to want to also most likely escape down. Well, there really isn't a down, but in this direction as well, to kind of hopefully push us closer to MOHO's plane, orbital plane. So let's go ahead and let's see, we're orbiting in this direction. So what we're going to want to do is probably fire up the maneuver there. And then let's go ahead and push us out till we get an escape trajectory. Okay. Let's then see what we can do about let's see, ascending node and descending node are 7 degrees. Let's see, if we were to add something like this, Interesting that there's ascending and descending nodes. Negative 11.4, negative 11.4, 9.2, 8.0, 7.4, 7.0. Eight 8.1, 9.5. Counterintuitively, we may want to do it the other way. Seven 7.5, 8.2. Let's see, if we were just to give this more energy. Ascending and descending nodes are at 7 degrees. See, the thing is that the resultant... Well, what I might have to do is do some of the maneuvers after we exit. Okay, so let's just add the maneuver. Let's do this. All right. It's been a 7.5 minute burn. All right. 7.5 minute burn that engages in 20 minutes. All right, well, let's get the reactor cooking. I think that might be too many lights, but it's all right. This doesn't need to be very precise. We just need to escape, right? So, let's go ahead and... warp us down to the node. 7 minutes. Really, it's just going to be a prograde. I'm not even going to really worry about it. Oh, I overshot. No big deal, though. You know, it's fine. And actually, I don't even really need... that burn timer. Alright, how is our electric charge looking? Electric charge is fine. Now, for whatever reason, it's consuming the lithium out of the lander first, which is weird. That's alright. We'll be able to transfer lithium from the primary tanks to the lander before we undock it. Gotta remember to do that, because its RCS also uses the lithium for the electromagnetoplasma dynamic RCS blocks. So without the lithium, it can't maneuver to try to redock. So it will be something I will need to be careful about. Alright, well, we've got a little while to go. It was like, what, 7 minutes? Alright, well, what I might go ahead and do here is just pause the recording, and then I'll jump back in once we have an escape trajectory. Alright, so I'll be back in a second. Okay, and I am back. We have our escape trajectory. It's not like 100% ideal, because I started it late, but it'll do. How long? 11 days? Alright, 11 days is fine. Let's go ahead and shut our reactor down. We have no reason to run it for those 11 days. I did go ahead and close the radiators on the lander, because for some reason it was using these small radiators to try to radiate the heat from this reactor primarily, and they were starting to overheat, so I turned them off. I don't know why it's trying to use the gear on the lander as like our primary equipment. You know, the tanks are empty using these radiators. Is weird, but whatever. So, let's go ahead and warp us out to here. Come on. Warp there. Hope we can get out of here and this will stop. Like I said, I need to put together a probe. They will hit all of those. I'll probably run that off screen. Alright, let's get them out of here. Okay. There we are. Now it still wants to do a gravity scan. We've already done that gravity scan. Alright, you just stabilize. Just stabilize for the moment. It's just that we have to get the unmanned probe that has done that gravity scan back home. So, that'll happen soon enough. We already have one that is ready to come home. We just need to get this done first. Alright. So, what I want to do is I want to get MechJeb's maneuver planner out here, and I want to see what it generates for a node. Now, it says that works. That is going to be a 20-minute burn in the 19 days from now. That is going to be a very aggressive burn. And that is going to then necessitate a very aggressive burn back there. Let's see if I can try to mitigate this to some degree. Let's see. Let's do one out there 4 hours from now. If it takes me 4 hours to figure this out, that's not gonna be a thing. Yeah. We're just not in a good position to match planes. See, here is where you want to add the maneuver to, you know, match planes. If we wait until then to do that, we don't get a close encounter. Now, I want to do this node in 149 days and burn for 15 minutes. Okay, hold on. Remove the nodes. Remove all nodes. Now it's on for a 15-minute burn. 149 days from now. And how close will this get us to Moho? It's an impact trajectory. It uses less delta V and just waits a little bit longer. Alright, 149 days. I think we can wait that long. Alright. I'll leave that maneuver there. I'll leave that maneuver there. I really think it's our only real option at this point. Okay. So, no, that's the ELU probe. Actually, yeah, let me go ahead and switch to the ELU probe. How long till it has to do its maneuver? One year, 199 days. Okay. The Joule probe. I think it's already on its rendezvous trajectory, and yeah, it has no further maneuvers that it needs to do. It is just gonna reach Joule in 2 years, 299 days. Alright. Now, you are the Kerbal probe. Switch to. You have a 12-minute burn to do in 212 days, 3 hours, 40 minutes. Alright, 212 days. 149 days. So this is actually the first maneuver we're going to have to do. Alright. That's going to be another extended burn. 15 minutes. And now it's saying we're not going to get that encounter. Okay. Let's tell it to do it. I don't want to put any more missions into play here, because already I think I've got too many balls in the air right now. So let's go ahead and execute that node. 149 days. Went ahead and turned those lights off because they were a little too bright for me. And we only really need them when it's dark. Like we're behind a planet or something, and we need to do a docking. And that's when we'll need those lights. Like, I don't think we're going to get any, like, gravity assists or anything that are going to help. We have 3 years, 400 some odd days of supplies for these Kerbals. So that shouldn't be a problem. Alright, we're going to want to get that reactor started as soon as we can. Start the reactor. Okay. There we are. Electric charge is fine. Not gonna be a problem. Alright, good. These, and how much Delta V do we have in the tank? It says 9850. So over 9,800 Delta V in the tank. So that should not be a problem either. Alright, so I've got another long burn ahead of us. I guess maybe what I can do here is kind of discuss a little bit of what I'm planning to do after these missions complete. So, this mission to Moho, the Kerbal mission, which is almost done, and then the Joule mission and the Elu mission have all gathered their science and returned home. Is that for the unmanned probes that we're currently running, except for maybe the Kerbal probe, because somehow that reactor got damaged. I don't know if it was the close pass of the sun, it overheated it, and it got damaged there, or if I got a little too close to Eve and scraping the upper atmosphere damaged it. Not sure, but it isn't really able to generate enough electric charge to run those engines for a long time. Hopefully the next maneuver it needs to do will be fine. We'll see. But the plan is, I probably will have to discard that one. But once the one that went to Elu and once the one that went to Joule return, the actual propulsion blocks for those probes are going to remain parked in Kerbal orbit, and I'm going to use them as kind of orbital tugs to move large components for the space station that I want to build in moon orbit, because that space station is going to basically be a resource gathering and processing facility to harvest resources from the moon, bring them up to the orbital station, and then process them into the various things we need. RCS fuel, lithium, liquid fuel oxidizer, whatever it is we're going to need. And then, so if we want to have large ships, like even larger ships than this one, what they'll do is, we'll assemble them, over there, supply them from the resources that are harvested at that station, and then launch them to their missions from there. And then once they return to the Kerbal system, deliver the Kerbals back home, deliver their science payloads, then they can go fly over to the moon, dock up with the processing station for resupply and refuel, rather than having to constantly launch heavy rockets from the Kerbal surface to resupply and refuel these vehicles. That's my ultimate goal here. And then so we can get manned missions out to Eve, we can get manned missions out to Joule, and particular Lathe, which is another planet I'd like to at least land on. So, yeah, that's going to be kind of the plan going forward, is using these things, kind of continuing to use them in a utility capacity. Because, hey, they work, why not? We might have to refuel them, but they're giant piles of Delta V. They could do multiple trips back and forth before they had to be refueled, and these reactors are going to last for a very long time, as long as they don't leave them running longer than I need to. I mean, we barely touched our uranium fuel here on this reactor, so... Well, not this one, but the other ones as well. So that will be the plan for the long term. But for now, I have 11 minutes of waiting for this maneuver to complete. So I'll go ahead and end the, well, not end, but pause the recording here, and then I'll be back when the maneuver is complete. We'll have to check it to make sure that it put us on the trajectory that we wanted. Because we may have to do some tweaking afterwards. But we shall see. Alright, well, I'll go ahead and pause, and I'll be back in a moment. Alright, and I'm back, and we've got 10 seconds left on this maneuver, and we are getting very, very close to our encounter. I'm just hoping that it works. Bingo. We have an encounter with Moho. Excellent. And this is going to be an impact trajectory, but we should be able to alter that when we arrive to push that out a little bit. And I could probably even make some very slight adjustments so that we don't have an impact. Push it out just a little bit. So there we are. We're going to have a lot of Delta V to burn off when we get there. I mean, it's 109 days from now. That is not very long at all. Just to say, it's probably going to be like... Oh wait, no, that is completely the wrong... We're actually approaching from this direction. Oh... It's about 4,000 meters per second at Delta V. How much more do I have left? 7916. Okay. Oh, that... Okay, we're fine. We may need some sort of gravity assist to get back. Because we're going to burn off 4,000. It's only going to leave us like, well, another 4,000 meters per second at Delta V for us to get home. Total. Moho to Kerbin. Is going to take 4,000 meters per second at Delta V. Optimally. with the best possible trajectory. But if we could, say for example, get another assist off of Eve, we may be able to adjust that. We'll have to see. We will have to see how it goes. Okay. So there we are. Now, that brings us to this. That brings us to this. You're 63 days away from your burn, which will last 12 minutes and 51 seconds. For a Kerbal Rendezvous. No, we're on Kerbal Rendezvous. This is to capture, right? This is the capture. It's like all these extended time maneuvers are really eating up a lot of my time. But 63 days. It's 100 some till the longbow reaches its position. Where is the Elu probe at? I think it's still like a couple of years away. One year, 50 days. Alright, I think I can do one more of these. Alright, let's go ahead and execute the node. Feed the telemetry into the computers and make it happen. Unfortunately, Moho doesn't have an atmosphere. So I can't do an arrow break like I did at Duna. There's Kerbal. And start the reactor. And I was a little late. So the engines are not going to run at 100% efficiency. Okay. Well, it's still going to take a little while. It's going to be running at mostly peak efficiency. Alright, well, one more pause here. I'll go ahead and let this thing finish, and then we'll maybe see if we can get this payload home. Alright, well, I'll be back in another moment. Okay, we are less than 10 seconds away from completing the burn, and there we are. And our electric charge should refill. Excellent. 297 meters per second of delta V in that particular tank. So what I'm going to want to do here is set us on a retrograde. And I'm going to go ahead and fire those engines back up. So I want to get the periapsis height down to around 150,000 meters, give or take. Maybe 100,000. Somewhere between, actually probably somewhere between 100,000 and 70,000 would be good. We just gotta burn off all that. Lots of delta V left. I mean, just absolutely tons. Oh, no, no, no. Let's cut that throttle down by a bunch, because I don't want to go too far, too fast. And kill it. Alright, excellent. Now I'm going to use MechJeb for the rest of this. I'm going to tell it to circularize at the next periapsis and execute. So I want to park this thing in this orbit. Now, I think there is going to be one complication that I'm going to go over here. As soon as this is done, it's only going to take 2.5 minutes. Well, we'll probably go over it as this maneuver is doing its thing. There we go. Is this. We have a 0 blader on the heat shield. The pass through the low pass of the sun burned off the ablator. I don't know why that happened, but it did. Doesn't make any sense that that would happen, but it did. So our heat shield is going to have to be this docking port, this fuel tank, and that separator. So hopefully those can function as a heat shield. We can retract that antenna. That'll probably blow off too. All right. All right, just a minute to go. EC expired. No. It definitely has EC. Alright, it does have monopropellant left. Lots of monopropellant. So nothing we need to worry about there. I could use a refill of these lithium tanks, but it's gonna have 3,000 meters per second delta V. That's enough to get back and forth to the moon a couple of times. So I'm not that worried about it. Okay, there we are. Alright, let's decouple that node. Probably should have done that in a different trajectory. Oh well, no big deal. No, actually that's fine, because that's going to go in that direction. We just need to separate a little bit so that those engines have some room to work. Okay, so what I really need to do is get in here and get on that thing and say rename the vessel, and this is going to be called Orbital Tug 1, and we're going to give it I guess that icon. Okay, there we go. Alright, so you we're controlling from the wrong side. Okay. You need to control from here. There we go. Alright, so activate these engines. That was not the stage I wanted. Okay, well, I guess this is not going to be the orbital tug. Control from here, docking camera. Why doesn't the docking camera work? Okay, there we are. We're gonna have to do this the hard way. One meter per second. And make sure that we are coming in directly at it. And let's hope that this thing can survive re-entry. I swear. I mean, the best thing to do would be actually to come up here, rendezvous with it, grab the science. You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to do a quick save. Because I am not sure this is going to work. Well, now I know I'm going to have to be careful about that. Alright, and we're going to push it till its periapsis is about 45. There we go. I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to try it. I just need to get this above 70. Here. 66, 67. Orbital prograde. Orbital prograde. There we go. Good enough. Let's see what happens. If this doesn't work, I'm going to revert back to that quick save, and then we'll do the whole rescue mission thing. But I'm hoping I'm going to bring this in at a shallow enough angle that even this heat shield with no ablator will work. Alright, let's time warp. Alright, apoapsis is dropping. Yeah, we're definitely going to land. It's just going to be, is this heat shield going to survive? And it is. Excellent. Okay. Alright, let's slow that down. We're down to 280. Let's go ahead and deploy our parachutes. And let's hope that those 2 parachutes are sufficient. They should be. I don't foresee any problems with that. This is a fairly light vehicle. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We're good. Jettison that heat shield. Four meters per second. This container should survive. Indeed. In fact, we can do a material study from here. I'll take it. And let's recover the vessel and let's see what we get. $1,964.5 science. Excellent. Done. Done. Okay. All right. And I think we will go ahead and end that episode, or end this episode here. A little bit of a improvisation had to do there at the end, but we got that done. Next thing is going to be our encounter with Moho, I believe. So we're going to have to circularize and run that whole mission. And then begin working to try to get that crew home. Then after that, we've got the maneuver for the ELU probe that needs to make its burn to get the ELU encounter. And then after that, we're probably going to have the Joule probe arrive at Joule's, going to have to capture there, and then begin doing its science at Joule. And meanwhile, we're going to be needing to get the longbow crew home. So, still a lot of work to do. And that's going to bring in tons of more science, and hopefully we'll be able to unlock a lot more of this tech tree. We should definitely be able to unlock a lot more of this tech tree. I mean, I can already... Well, I mean, I could get that. But really what I need is the high-energy nuclear power. That's kind of what we need right away to get the better reactors. So, I'll kind of make decisions about what we're going to do with the science off-screen. Like in between this episode and next. Alright, so with that, we will stop here. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment. And I will see you next time.